Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Like the XO said, I'm Master Sergeant Bentley. I normally spell my name wrong on the slide, but I really wanted to do it right today, so everybody knows Jamie, not Jamil, Jemiah, whatever they call me. But let's get right into it. I don't want to prolong your time. All right, the mission of what I do here is I provide the command and the command team with a pretty much advice on the PAC program, prohibited activity and conduct. The order is new, a lot have changed probably since you read the whole thing, but that is my current mission. Also, I provide you with information in regard to the PAC. Any questions? All right, what is the EOA? I'm a special staff officer and I'm school trained. If you ever get a chance, please go down to Diomi. It's a wonderful, amazing school, not just for EOAs, but for all Marines. It's a great course, so please, if you get a chance. And just a hint, if you want to be an EOA, only Staff Sergeant through Master Gunnery Sergeant, no Sergeant Major or First Sergeant are allowed, or officers are allowed. So please pass to your Marine. And if you get out, civilians are GS 11 to 13 now, EOAs, getting paid a lot more than me. I'm not mad at it. But my main duty, my basic duties are I provide oversight, I process the complaints, I execute the DOCs, and I do inspection when there's a chance. All right. Any questions? Y'all can stop me at any time. Any questions? All right. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. These are the 5 categories that I deal with: harassment, bullying, hazing, sexual harassment, and discrimination. Now, sexual harassment is getting almost in the lane of assault. So certain things, when you look at assault, may not be assault anymore. That's touching the legs, the shoulder. But the way I process here, for you, ladies and gentlemen, if any touching is involved, please do not come to me first. Contact the sapper. Contact the sapper. Let the sapper knock it out the ballpark. See if they have anything, it's fine. If they don't, they can come to me. But please, a lot of Marines come to me for what possibly could be assault, and I could violate that Marine's rights if it is an assault, because I am a mandatory reporter. And I will report it if it comes to my office. I have a little bit of confidentiality, but we're still working through that, and I like to report most of the stuff that happened. All right, any questions about that? Moving right along. All right, this is the longest I probably talk here. An official complaint. The problem here at the RS, only Colonel Cook can handle official complaints. So I know commanders at the has NJP authority, but you must have court-martial convening authority. So that's why your commanders cannot process a PAC complaint. The only 2 ways you can have an official complaint is through the NAVMAC, the 11512. If a Marine come to you and say I want to file an official complaint, they have to provide the NAVMAC 11512 to myself. It has to be to myself. I know they said within a 90-day window. But please don't stop them if it's 100 days or 91 days. Commands try to stop Marines from submitting complaints because, oh, your complaint is too old. That is not up to you. That's up to the commander in this command team. So please. And anonymous complaints. So when you talk about anonymous complaint, that means a complaint that does not have a person to identify. They just said someone get an IG complaint, someone in the S3 shop is being bullied, or someone put a note on your desk, under your door, and say, hey, I'm being bullied, I'm being harassed, I'm being sexual harassed. That is an anonymous complaint. You have to forward that to myself so I can get it up to the command team. This one right here, anonymous complaint, is causing a lot of problems with a lot of commands. Why? Because as commanders and sergeant majors, the command can investigate any issue that they choose to. But if it's anonymous, you have to report it to myself. When we're talking also about these complaints, I want to reiterate, as a command team, you can investigate any issue EO-wise you want. That's your role. A lot of people look to me and say, can I investigate? You and your command can get together and investigate anything that you want. But only way that make it an official EO complaint if they have the NAVMAC and they have anonymous complaint. But what I would tell commanders, we have a lot of cases where you may hear scuttlebutt of hazing, bullying, and whatever going on in their unit. And they call me and say, hey, I spoke with this Marine, I spoke with that Marine. And the Marine said, no, it's no EO complaint. I will say, please please, please, please document that conversation, because if they do file a complaint later on and they said, I told command this, I told sergeant major this, I told OPSO this, then you probably gonna have a talk with the CO and the XO why you didn't take action on that before it came up to here. I'm almost done. I know it's quick. I didn't want to take too much of time, but when the EO world, EO is about leadership. Leadership. I am like the fire extinguisher that no one ever looks at. You don't even know it's there. And that's the way I like it. I like when people don't know why it is, because it's up to you to set your command climate. It's up to you to stop out any bullying, harassment, sexual harassment that may go on in the unit. And the only time I come into play is things that got out of hand and no one know what to do, and then it just, they bust me out and we'll go from there. But please, 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 you are the key to your unit EO program, not myself. I'm one person, and half of the people didn't know I exist until today. They just came to EO program here. I got here in July. We just started putting EOs at the RSs, at the districts now. Any questions for myself? Any questions? No questions. Yes, sir.
So ironically, having to give him, because he needs private space, having to give him an office space almost generated an EO complaint, but that's a whole other issue. So Top, with EO, and this is because it's learning, because just growth, learning experience. Anything deals, this is for the RSs, whether it's not just, I'm not just talking to XOs, it's everybody too, because sometimes OPSOs, you hear things dealing with the staff and CICs, like, oh, what's going on back there, or what your recruiter's talking about. If there's anything that smells, walks like, sounds like EO, get to him immediately, and it's 99.9% pure gold. It needs to be a command investigation. A PI will not satisfy the needs of a command investigation. It has to get a legal sufficiency review. So if anything's going to go down on paper, documented a NIPLOC or higher, so 6105 that references anything that is EO-ish, smells, looks like, or walks like EO, it will not pass LSR, and it's going to be removed from the Marines record, and you just wasted a whole lot of time if they were in the wrong. So if it's EO, it needs to be directed, appointed by me or Colonel Cook for EO complaints or anything that is EO-ish. And the other part that probably needs some discussion with Top Bentley is victim. Who's the complainant? Is there a complainant? So there's some gray area, but not really some gray area. I'm not a subject matter expert, but he either is himself knows the answer, or he can get to the person that does know the answer. He calls the program manager in the Marsh Center more often than anybody I've ever seen in my life. So he's on the phone with him like every other day. I didn't know we had that much business up here, but he calls him often. So you got a great advocate here for the program. I in my heart believe that Top Bentley has the best interest of the Marine Corps, the Marine and the unit in mind. So please engage him. If you have any ifs, ands, or buts, don't hesitate to give him a call.
I love the EO program. This is my second time on the program. No, I'm not trying to get out my MOS as an 01. I just love the EO program. But it's my number. I have my work phone on all the time. You can call me, email me at any time, any question. Please, please, please. If you have any questions concerning EO, please let me know. Oh, sorry.
From start to finish, how long does it take? Let's say you have a complaint, you get a command investigator to start an investigation, this is completed. From start to finish, how long does it take?
In a perfect world, 60 days.
Okay.
Perfect world. But there's a lot of factor that goes into it. Get into myself. It has to go, point investigating officer, it has to go to LSR for their first review. Come back, commander make his decision. It goes back to the CG for his final closure. So in a perfect world, perfect 60, but I can tell you now it's not perfect.
Right now I think it's 4 to 5 months.
It takes a while.
So that's my question, because we have one going on, and it's been over 60 days, and the guy has no contact order, so he can't go to work. He's a recruiter, so we can't bring him. He's over 4 hours away, so we can't have them check in to the station every day. So
Yeah.
we put them on leave for about 12 days. After that, like, you know what? Just check in 3 times a day. Like, I don't know what else.
So not to get in, I think I know what you're talking about, but not to disclose that information. I spoke with that person, if I think, yesterday, if the same person we're talking about, I spoke with the person, I spoke with all parties involved.
Okay.
So they understand, you may not see it, but I always talking to all parties at all times. I just don't let everyone know because it's a lot of information that I can't let out. But I talked to that person, I talked to a lot of people in regards. But the problem is the CG is very busy.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of cases from all districts, not just us. And I understand it. A lot of times the problem is a lot of Marines get set down, especially if they're a boss or whatever. And they get to the question, who should you move? And I'm gonna hurry up because I know Master Gunn got me on a time frame, so I don't want to mess with it. So when we dealing with EO case, my go-to answer is never move the alleged accuser, the person that accused, never move. But if they're a boss, you may have to make certain, I will let you in the command decide whether you want to move that person. You can talk to our XO to determine, and I can give you my advice, but certain people just can't be moved because of the mission and whatnot. But it's up to you whether you want to move a person.
And that's the thing, we can't move them because right now nothing's substantiated yet. And then we have to do a PCS move with him and his entire family. So it's just a lot of stuff going.
When we get done, I can talk to you. I can give you I don't want to put everybody's business
Yep, I got you.
I can give you a more in-depth brief on exactly what's going on once you leave here, and I have the answer to all your questions with that. If that's the same case we're talking about,
Sure.
I have all the answers that you need. But the EO process is a long process. That's why I harp on leadership. If you can handle it at your level and take care of the appropriate, I'm for it. But once it come up to here, it's a lot of moving parts. Any more questions? Thank you.